How to start having original thoughts. Welcome to Soma and Sage. Today, we are exploring the mechanics of the mind, specifically, how to transition from a consumer of information to a creator of original thought. In an age of algorithmic echo chambers, developing a unique perspective isn't just an intellectual exercise, it is an act of reclamation. 1. The myth of the clean slate. The first step to original thinking is realizing that nothing comes from nothing. Originality is not the absence of influence, but the novel synthesis of existing ideas. Think of your mind as a laboratory. If you only put in one type of chemical, you get a predictable reaction. To create something original, you must cross-pollinate disparate fields, marrying biology with architecture, or jazz theory with software engineering. 2. The practice of intellectual deprogramming. Before you can think for yourself, you must identify where your current thoughts come from. Most of our opinions are actually borrowed scripts from our environment. Audit your inputs. If you read the same news and follow the same influencers as everyone else, you will inevitably think like everyone else. Seek high-friction information. Read books that are difficult, outdated, or written by people you fundamentally disagree with. This friction forces your brain to build its own logical pathways rather than sliding down the easy path of consensus. 3. Deep observation. The first principles method. Original thinkers often use first principles thinking. This involves breaking a concept down to its fundamental truths and rebuilding it from the ground up, rather than reasoning by analogy, doing things because that's how they've always been done. Ask why 5 times. When you encounter a standard procedure or a common belief, keep digging until you hit a physical or logical law that cannot be broken. Everything above that law is negotiable and open to your original interpretation. 4. Embracing negative space. The power of boredom. The greatest enemy of original thought is the constant ping of digital stimulation. Originality requires incubation. The default mode network. When you stop focusing on a task and let your mind wander, showering, walking without headphones, staring out a window, your brain activates the default mode network. This is where the eureka moments happen, where the brain connects two previously unrelated dots. The 20-minute rule. Set aside 20 minutes a day with zero input. No phone, no music, no book. Just a notebook and a pen. The first 10 minutes will be boring. The next 10 are where your own voice begins to speak. 5. The feedback loop. Thinking through expression. You don't truly know what you think until you try to explain it. Writing, drawing, or speaking your ideas into existence forces you to bridge the gaps in your logic. The shitty first draft principle. Don't censor yourself. Originality is a volume game. You have to produce 100 derivative or bad ideas to find the one that is truly yours. Externalize the internal. Use mind maps to see the visual topography of your thoughts. In summary, originality is a muscle. It requires the courage to be wrong in the eyes of the status quo and the discipline to sit in the silence long enough to hear your own frequency. Stop looking at the map everyone else is using and start looking at the terrain itself, your task. Pick one belief you hold strongly. Trace it back to its origin. Was it a discovery you made, or a gift someone gave you? If the latter, it's time to start digging.